I'd as of late wrapped up watching the last episode of Season 7 of #1 Outsider. Singapore was the episode with the greatest wealth. It was spot on with every character, plot, and trend. Here is my review. Really, I giggle at myself. It ended up being a reference to another fight, the contention of Singapore, when I took a gander at the episode title and thought it had critical importance. Throughout the episode, Jamie tries to convince his chief that the English would not follow by land. However, the solid chief doesn't acknowledge him since he doesn't see the justification for why a Highlander would concur that what he says. This episode was about disproportion experienced by different characters. Regardless, we saw Jamie, yet a created authority fighting to get his point across. The undaunted commandant dismissed Jamie, whether it suggested losing a battle or the presence of a couple of men. Jamie was correct the entire way through. Jamie said that the English sought after them and expected to clear the post. Actually conveyed, different characters showed different sorts of divergence. Due to misogynists, Claire once more persevered. The tactical expert didn't treat her well, didn't focus on what she expected to say, or even thought she knew anything. Thankfully, Denzel Tracker was more open to the possibility of a female subject matter expert. In any case, a man's assumption that he could help Claire, and that was sad. In the 20th century, Bree experienced similar circumstances, but she was solely responsible for everything. On her most memorable day, her new co-workers secured her in a passage. She expected to get out confined. In any case, by some coincidence, there was an especially unmistakable blue entry in the section. While Bree raced through it, nothing transpired. I would like to believe that this is yet another doorway that can be used with time travel. Regardless, for what reason did Bree not enlighten Roger anything? I'm dubious. It will undoubtedly be shown to us in subsequent episodes. As I might want to think, Jamie was the loss from the episode's most conspicuous shamefulness. At school, he was focused for speaking Gaelic, a language he was illegal to utilize. How should a parent explain that to their children? A periodic failure to impart in your local tongue is something you could need to make sense of. Watching that scene was hard. Moreover, I should plainly talk about different characters. William and the Tracker's destiny all over town was incredibly unexpected. Although I thought the man they saw was overly friendly, I thought it was typical 18th century friendliness. I didn't anticipate seeing eager executioners from the 18th 100 years. Obviously, this family baits untouchables into their home, kills them as they rest, and what next? I would effectively try not to consider it. I don't have to skip into this since I as of late finished the most common way of watching Hannah Bull. Indeed, is William's presence not remarkable? Committing his most fundamental showing of killing. In a similar vein, does he consider Rachel valuable? He presumably does, yet does Rachel besides like him? Denzel recognized that something was going on as soon as they said their goodbyes. In any case, Rachel additionally had all of the stores of being enthused about searing iron. Is it genuine that she is for the most part charming, or am I getting a couple of horrible signs here? To be 100% real with you, I basically stay mindful of that fiery Ian ought to be content. The kid had sufficient experience. I'm uneven because young Ian has been a part of the story longer than William has. Essentially this episode, we found that he really has a youngster. He learned about his child, whom he dubbed Ian James, precisely when he concluded that he could never have children and that something was wrong with him.